Slurring.
Yes, this is the show where we take one of Cambridge's finest minds and get them drunk to the blurred degree.
Now, getting drunk can be a delicate process, and so we have a game that we like to call information inebriation to help us out. The rules of this game are that if Ben gets a question wrong, he will drink, but if he gets a question right, I will drink. The results are pretty hilarious, so if you'd like to watch the full extended version of this episode on our YouTube channel, then please do, it is worth your time. But make sure to drop us a like before you leave. But if you're staying with us, then enjoy just some highlights from information inebriation. Oh, and also give us a like. Come on, you know you want to.
The unwitting painter.
I want that to be real so badly that I'm happy to drink.
Oh, I made
made that up.
I like to think it was metaphorical painting.
Ah.
You know, it's like he was unwittingly painting his kingdom in a bad light to other kingdoms. You know,
Yeah.
everyone didn't like England because of him, and he did that.
Severe bollocks.
Wait, Prince Charles?
So what?
Oh, he's never going to be king. As in, he's probably going to die before the Queen.
Yeah.
She's immortal.
Yeah.
Actually, interestingly, the Queen is immortal until proven otherwise.
That's true.
Until she dies.
We won't know.
Until she dies, we can't be sure the Queen's not immortal.
You know.
At Cambridge University is a great course, and you should all do it. Is that what they said?
Oh no, that
No,
isn't.
no, it's
Actually,
not.
that was at the bottom. That was actually the bottom of the list.
So we're going to give you a picture of 8 white men.
They're right.
Basically. And 3 of them are not British Prime Ministers and the rest are.
Okay.
Delete.
Delete.
Delete. You will be deleted.
This is my cheesy roll given unto you.
Fuck.
You can do like the freeze frame high five.
So welcome back, and now we're going to move on to the section that is called Messy Essays.
And this is the chance when you just get to go on drunk and talk about history. A bit like that show Drunk.
We
We can't say the full name.
No,
You can't say the full name. Copyright issues.
No.
No. Oh, drunk history.
So Hegel says, we learn from history that we do not learn from history.
Yeah.
If this is true, what the fuck even is your degree?
I asked myself this question many times. There are times where
Oh God, that's really sad. You didn't even snigger.
history teaches us nothing, which is true to a degree. Actually, I think it's problematic to try and look at past historical eras and say, like the fall of the Roman Empire is a big one. Everyone since before Gibbon and since Gibbon has gone, especially morally. Look at this era, look at this moral decline we're in, this is akin to the fall of the Roman Empire, etc. Right up to whenever. To a degree, he's just nothing. But so, the question of what even is my degree is what that keeps me awake at night.
If you had to go back in time and change something so that in the present you were now the Duke of Cambridge, how would you do it? Well, I'm making.
For instance, you could be Prince William or you could be married to him.
I'd go to the University of Aberdeen. Was it Aberdeen? No, it wasn't Aberdeen.
St.
It was
Andrews.
St. Andrews.
Andrews.
It began with A, and it was in Scotland. And I got
Although, was
very
that where
confused.
Harry went?
No.
St.
So
Andrews
William and Kate
okay.
met at St. Andrews, and I would shove Kate off a bridge. And I imagine St. Andrews has many.
Bridges.
How would you seduce Prince William?
I'd use my wiles. I would say, do you know what? So what if it's balding? I find that really attractive in a man, and he'd say, "Oh, I hear that so rarely. Would you marry me?"
Oh.
And would be the progressive party. It would be magical. I'd look stunning in Kate's wedding dress.
Would you have worn the same one?
I'd look exactly the same way. It could literally be a case of I go back quite a way in history, do phenomenally well in a battle against somebody, and Henry the VI, because he's 9 months old, says, you know what? You did really well in that. I'll make you Duke of Cambridge. And I become Duke of Cambridge.
He's
And my heirs. And my heirs, if we assume Blackadder logic in this, who look
would that be you?
Yeah, who look and are identical to me, would still be Dukes of Cambridge to this day because they'd have been phenomenally successful.
In the 5th century BC, the
Yeah.
world became round for the first time, where it had previously been flat.
It's true.
What would you say are the pros and cons of this decision?
I mean, the pros obviously are the inevitability of getting lost. If you find out, of when you get lost, rather, be able to find your way back to where you were, given infinite time.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking. And famously, the pear shape was briefly proposed.
Oh, okay.
It was rejected.
How come?
Well, you see, the little knob on the end was thought to be just unsymmetrical. It was very. It just aesthetically.
It threw off the orbit of like
Exactly.
the moon.
And the Earth started spinning constantly. It was bizarre. It was a bad move. They trialled it, as I say, for like a period of 6 months, and harvests were wrecked. The entire economy went into recession. It was bad.
Yeah. That's why it's actually technically now 2022.
Well, exactly.
But we had to skip those
We
years.
did. Cuboid could have been shaped like I don't know, a face.
Oh, that would
The face of Brian Blessed.
have been.
Or a
Ooh.
potato smiley face? That would be
A
nice.
potato smiley face.
No, that would have been great.
Well, no.
for the
So which was the proposition of Saint Germanicus?
I mean, that also you also get still quite a bit of flat Earth if you.
Well,
have
exactly.
smiling, so.
That's the thing. I mean, it's round,
It's happy medium.
but and of course, and the hulls, of course, was wrecking shipping.
Mm.
So you'd be sailing across the ocean. I mean, the transatlantic trade was wrecked. It's the reason why the Americas weren't rediscovered until the 15th century, or earlier, depending on whether or not you believe. There's the Viking discovery of North America. There's the Welsh discovery of North America, which I'm not. But no, I mean, the flat Earth, just when it came down to it, was cumbersome. It was. And it just didn't make. It was just, yeah. But you look at the Earth, and the Earth looks flat, and that was. And
It's all
then,
propaganda.
when they really broke it down, that's what it came down to. Was they thought the Earth ought to be flat because the Earth looks flat.
In the end, the sphere.
And in the end, the sphere was just. I mean, it was dull. Yes.
But it was,
But it was
But it's
practical.
practical and it's stuck.
Yeah.
For the next.
No, you're right.
For 2,500 years, we've had a spherical Earth.
And we've had no issues.
And we've had no issues.
There's that great horrible history song about it, isn't there?
Which one was that?
That horrible history song about the banana-shaped Earth. Go on.
I didn't watch Horrible
I'm
Histories as a
trying to
child. I
make-
wouldn't know.
Ah! Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun,
oh, I love it.
the Earth, it looks round when you see it from space, but from Earth it looks flat. And then you walk, and you keep walking, and you'll never find the edge. But said Columbus, I reckon it's pear-shaped. No one knows why he said that. He was fucking mental. I'm gonna find America. And the people in Spain, they said, no, you're mental. And actually, in fairness, they were right. And he sailed. He sailed to America. And here we enter a complicated part of history where he could be or not. Maybe he oppressed the natives who didn't. I'm not prepared to get in this argument while drunk. That's
Okay, so next question.
Yes.
Because Arthur is indecisive. In the War of the Roses,
Yes.
how did anyone tell the difference between white and red? Because surely everything was in black and white back then.
Well, that's interesting. So the black and white phenomenon only came along with the advent of film. So prior to the 19th century, everything was in fact painted in oils. There are various different phases. So for example, in the sort of the middle medieval period, so we're talking from sort of Norman conquest onwards, maybe till about the 15th century, everyone viewed the world in tapestry. And then you get into sort of the 15th century, you have sort of this portrait painting coming in. The oldest painting in the British National Gallery, in fact, is of Henry VII, who, I don't know if we're allowed to have favourite kings as a serious historian, such as I am, as you can see, but Henry VII is my absolute boy.
Yay!
In the British court, you've got Holbein, who really refines it, so people are actually seeing not quite high definition. It's in the 19th century with people like Daguerre, the Frenchman, who invents the daguerreotype, obviously, that people's vision reverts all the way back to being in black and white. I know, and it's not until about the 50s, 60s that people start to see colour again.
I've always wondered, how could a caveman kill a mammoth? But those mammoths are like the same size as the caveman.
They're really small.
Yeah, in the drawings, and that's how
Exactly.
people saw each other. I'm
That's the
thinking in
thing.
nowadays.
That's how they saw
me.
Yeah.
They
Obviously,
threw a spear at it and
if
it
a
kills
mammoth,
it.
if a mammoth
Yeah.
came along now, it would absolutely destroy us because, of course, we have digital photography, and so we can
Exactly.
see
No,
that the
but
mammoth
they just had cave paintings.
is much larger than we are. So, of course, but when you've got a
Therefore,
cave
their
painting,
perspective was warped. So
exactly.
the mammoth was terrified of man.
Mammoths were actually like only yay high back in actual Stone Age.
Wait,
times.
hang on.
It's only since the advent of digital photography.
Whereabouts on me?
Bear in mind,
Whereabouts
Arthur is
are you?
6'4".
Very
That's
much. It's probably out of frame
I'm
right
not
now.
Very important to mention that.
Bearing in mind that I am about 5'11".
And I'm very much 5'4".
I would say your average
We don't
mammoth.
stand up much, do we?
Your average mammoth, you're looking at about
don't worry.
5'5", 6".
Five.
So what I'm saying is like dangerous in the same way as like
As a big dog.
a big dog, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, like raccoons in America. Are
Like
dangerous.
like a
very
mutant.
small, or a wolverine, or
Yeah.
like something really small.
Claw your eyes out.
Exactly.
You know, we are not the top of the food chain. We are polar bears. Naturally, we are there to
Well,
ride.
Paul, do you want to know a fun anecdote? Like the 8 times great grandson of Horatio Lord Nelson, obviously Victor at the Battle of Trafalgar.
Obviously.
I say Victor, he also got shot. Was actually killed by a polar bear. He was like our age, like younger. He was
Younger
about
than us,
16,
yeah.
16, 17.
Wait, and they went on a school trip and he
He went to school
got
trip
killed
to
by a
North
polar
Pole
bear.
and he was killed. He was
Yeah, because there
killed
are
by a
there
polar
are
bear
predators.
in his tent.
Confused. Who are we
They
talking
also have
about?
black skin.
We're talking about Horatio
Yeah, they do.
Nelson.
I thought he was important in history. How was he only
No.
our
No.
age?
Has anyone else drunk any of this?
Not that one.
You've trunked that.
That's
And
all.
also a little bit of mine.
Are you sure you want more?
That is all me. No, oh, no. Do you have one more question?
Final
We
question.
have one more question.
Is there really only one more?
There's only one more.
Out of the three of us, who is going to go down in history, and why?
Alongside, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and this sort.
Yeah, exactly. Much as I would like to think we all are. Just for...
That's very nice.
That's nice. That is
I know.
nice.
Statistically, historically, a lot of people have thought they were going to go down in history. The vast majority of them, we have no recollection of them saying that. But that's sort of the point I'm trying to make.
So by saying that we definitely want to go down in history, does that
Oh,
mean
do
we
you?
won't?
I'm going to turn this interview around. Do you want to go down in history?
Totally.
I have an answer. Absolutely
My answer
not.
is totally.
Absolutely not.
My answer is totally.
Well, let's dissect.
I want to go down in
Let's
history.
dissect these. The tables have turned.
I personally,
Yeah.
I think that people go down in history for the bad things that they do. And
Well,
if I don't go down in
definitely.
history, then I know it's easy to be it's easy to do a very great thing.
Yeah.
It's harder to be a solidly decent man.
It depends on the sort of history you're trying to create for yourself. If you're trying to create the sort of history that historians will debate over, it's very useful to create a legend and then leave a sort of a vague, well, not less vague, but a sort of a remnant of humanity sort of lying under that veneer.
Okay, so follow-up question. If you were going to leave a mystery for historians in order to go down in history, what mystery would you leave?
I think the greatest mystery you can leave behind is trying to work out exactly what sort of a person you are.
Like Alan, not Alan.
We're going to say
Turing.
Alan Shearer. I've met him in a Chinese restaurant.
You met
Hi,
him?
Alan.
Alan Sugar.
No, Alan Shearer.
Alan Turing is actually what I said.
And none of those three people will be watching this video.
I met
so I
Alan
think we're
Shearer.
good.
Hello.
Newcastle legend.
Hello, Alan Sugar.
Ben, you're fired.
What have we learned today, Olivia?
Okay, so we've learnt that.
We actually learned quite a lot.
We've learnt a lot. So much that
I
I
apologise.
can't even potentially even consider what we've learnt. We've learnt that
So
the
what-
Earth was flat for a long time. And then some guy came and discovered that it was round, but that was really impractical, but also pear-shaped was more impractical, so we went with round.
Yeah.
I apologise so much for all this learning. I can,
You've taught us so much.
you came here to be entertained, and I have taught you. I have taught you bollocks, but I have taught you nonetheless.
And on that note, thanks, Ben.
It's alright. Good night.
Good night.
Stay safe, Internet. friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Ooh.
Hi. Fire!
Doing something that's different now.